Hi, I'm Dr. Mary Valiette, and I'm here on the landing page at potentialpowernutrition.com. And what we're going to talk about today are the benefits of this, our chocolate breakfast blend, and why I formulated it. So if we go over here to nutrition, you can see that you can take your mouse and go down to benefits so that you will always have this. And we're going to talk about why am I putting this delicious, nutritious shake in my body. The thing is that breakfast is the most skipped meal of the day. And while I'll sometimes have dinner for breakfast, then I don't have time for lunch. So whether you're doing this for breakfast or you're doing it for lunch, what we want everyone to know is that we want to make sure that they have a good balance of their macro and micronutrients. We know that people do not get a balanced diet every day. Most people do not do what I do, which is meal prep 21 meals a week. And so what we wanted to make sure, rather than you taking the time to ensure that you get a good balance and take the right supplements, we decided to simplify it so that we would have a product that provides total metabolic support to give your body everything it needs in the right forms and the right quantities so you meet your nutritional goals without going over and risk negative side effects related to oversupplementation. So what are we talking about when we say total metabolic support? Let's use a car as an example. It's our vehicle that gets us around from place to place, just like our animal body gets us around from place to place. When we look at ourselves from the exterior, we are seeing our skin, our hair, our nails. That's kind of like the paint on the car. A lot of times you don't really realize that you're in a nutritional deficit because what happens is that your heart, your nervous system, and your muscle will not give up the nutrition it needs, but your skin will. And therefore, you notice all of a sudden that your skin or your hair or your nails do not look as healthy as possible. When we see these other supplements that say hair, skin, and nails, they have thousands of times the amount of biotin or collagen or keratin that you might need in a day, or even vitamin C. What we really want to do, though, is have a comprehensive blend of supplements and nutrients to truly support your hair, skin, and nails, not just one thing that theoretically is going to make it better. We are doing a comprehensive approach because we understand that your skin is going to give up whatever nutrition that it feels it can live without, like the protein that you need to make your hair and your nails, like your mitochondria that you need to run your nervous system and your muscle. And so therefore, when I myself take this product every single day, when my patients, my doctors, their patients take it, the number one benefit that people mention is that their hair, skin, and nails are healthier. When we look at a car about what lets it move, that's the frame and the body and the wheels. But for us, that is our bone, muscle, and connective tissue. The main building block for that is protein. And what we know from the literature is the recommended amount of protein is 20 to 30 grams per meal. We chose 24 because it's the perfect balance for a low-calorie meal replacement or a post-workout snack. We wanted to make sure that you had the calcium and the vitamin D and the vitamin K to build your bones, to make sure that you have what you need to make the collagen for your muscles, your tendons, and your cartilage. And that's why we put in 100% of the vitamin C. When we look at collagen and we look at holding bone together, we need the calcium. We need the vitamin K to hold the calcium in that bone. We need the vitamin D to absorb that calcium. And so what happens is we notice that that structural component is so much stronger. And a most commonly reported benefit is feeling stronger and especially a faster post-workout recovery. I want to say one more thing about protein. There's a great study that just came out for postmenopausal women who are experiencing bone loss. And they showed that if you give 20 grams of supplemental protein every single day, it reduced their bone loss by 2.3%. And that's what we were going for here. When we talk about having energy, the car needs an engine. Our engine is the mighty mitochondria. The heart has the most per unit of tissue. And after that, your nerve, your muscle. Now, your skin has less per unit of tissue, but because you have so much skin, it has the most amount of total mitochondria, and that's why it gives it up when you need it in your nerves and in your heart and in your muscle. For your mitochondria to work, it needs all the B vitamins. B1, B2, B3, energy, and B5 for pantothenic acid, all in the Krebs cycle. That is what is one of the major things that helps you with the electron transport chain to actually make energy. When we are talking about the number and size of the mitochondria, we need B6, folic acid, and B12. That allows us to do DNA division, and the mitochondria have their own DNA. And so when we want to make more mitochondria, which we do with aerobic exercise, we actually increase the number and the size of your mitochondria, then we have the nutrition that you need for that. Intriguingly, the mineral iodine is necessary to have thyroid hormone, which is the signal to make more mitochondria. Without a normal functioning thyroid, you do not actually get the message, despite anything else that you're doing, to make more mitochondria. We put iron in there, both to bring the oxygen and the hemoglobin to the mitochondria, and for the cytochromes that literally are going to move those electrons and make more energy for you. We need potassium, magnesium, zinc, selenium, manganese. These are intracellular ions. They're going to help pull the water in. It's going to help you be a grape, not a raisin. You'll be less wrinkly. You'll be less hypertensive. All those things are going to help that water stay that muscle hydrated. Super important. We wanted to make sure that we have magnesium because not only does it help you with your intracellular function, magnesium is necessary to make energy, but bizarrely, magnesium is also necessary to help you calm down at the end of the day so that you can fall asleep, so that you can be focused. We put 100% of all the B vitamins, and we have them in the right form for absorption and function. We have the essential minerals in the right form, because you can put a mineral in on a label where it's not in a form that can be absorbed by your body or used by your body. But we wanted to do it so that whatever else you have in your diet, you get enough without having excess. What did we get out of that? More energy, because we have those B vitamins to support your engine, your mitochondria. When we are talking about fuel, what are you going to literally burn for energy? Your body, literally like a combustion engine, needs to bring in the oxygen and oxidize your carbohydrates or burn them and your fats. What do they burn them to? They burn them to carbon dioxide, which is interesting. The same thing that you have. We make carbon dioxide, then we breathe that out. What we wanted to make sure is that we had the right balance of carbohydrates. It's very important to take your total carbohydrates and divide by the fiber. When carbs divided by fiber is less than or equal to 10, then what happens is that lets you stably absorb them and keep your blood sugar even. When your blood sugar is even, what happens is when you have the right amount of simple carbs like cane sugar, and we used organic cane sugar, then you get what's called an insulin response. Insulin is necessary for nutrition, especially glucose and amino acids. That's the proteins and the carbohydrates to get into your muscle. When you have them in your muscle, then you feel satisfied. Then you can do anaerobic activity and build more muscle mass using your carbohydrates, or you can burn fat when you're in a cardiac active zone, when you're in that fat burning zone with your heart rate in the target zone. You still have to have what you need, all those mitochondria, all those B vitamins, and the right and good fats. What we added as well was cinnamon and chromium, because without chromium, insulin cannot bind to the cell, and chromium is missing in a lot of simple carbohydrates out there on the marketplace. We added cinnamon as well because cinnamon is known for blood sugar handling. This is going to help you from not having the highs, but also not having the lows, and keeping you nice and satisfied and keeping your blood sugar even is going to make you feel like you don't have cravings. When you don't have cravings, you're not snacking. When you're not snacking, you're not putting on this weight. That's this mindless eating weight, because it's been abolished by this good blood sugar regulation and this real feeling of being satisfied. When we are working with this combustion engine, what can happen is that, just like burning anything, you can have what's called oxidative stress. If something is there, like a piece of wood, it's a piece of wood, but a piece of wood on fire, you can smell the smoke. We've been living through that lately. And so what we want to do is put out the fire. To put out the fire, we need antioxidants. The vitamins A and E are important antioxidants, as well as the herbs, turmeric and ginger. These vitamins and herbs reduce inflammation. Why do we care about being on fire? Because chronic inflammation leads to the leading causes of death in this country and in the world, and that's cardiovascular disease and cancer. Additionally, any inflammatory conditions like arthritis, we're going to see anything that ends in itis is an inflammatory thing. And as people age, they'll say, oh, my joints hurt, I have arthritis. But it really is that the joints are inflamed, not because you're older. And when we have the vitamin A, the vitamin E, the turmeric, the ginger, what we notice is people report less joint pain. Not only less joint pain, but less intestinal pain. Stomach and intestines can also be inflamed, like an irritable bowel. And when we have these great antioxidants, people then report less stomach pain and less intestinal discomfort. That means now I'm going to absorb my nutrition better because my cells will work better. If I absorb my nutrition better, I'm going to move better. If I have better mobility, I'm going to have less joint pain. And therefore, I'm going to feel better and be able to exercise more. When I exercise more, then I'm going to be able to build more bone mass. But speaking of bone mass, we didn't want to give you a supplement that can demineralize your bone. And they have shown that at 2 times the RDA for vitamin A, you are at risk for demineralization. And so we only added 40% of the vitamin A. It's an essential nutrient. It really helps your body, but we didn't want to do too much. And intriguingly, we are exposed to so many toxic substances in the environment today. And we know we need to break down some medication, whether it's over the counter or prescription drugs. And so we added a little molybdenum. Getting rid of these toxins, getting rid of these drugs is critically important, because we have to burn them, but then we have to put the fire out and get them out of our body by either excreting them in our urine. So we want to drink plenty of water, or we want to have plenty of fiber so that we can move them out of our colon. Another related benefit, intriguingly, is when you have all these antioxidants, when you have all these B vitamins, it will help you feel better in the morning. Because if you put other things in your body that is not food, then your body treats it like it is a toxin. And we need all of these antioxidants so that you feel better the next day. So I hope that you get that at the end of this, you understand that we're trying to help your entire system with total metabolic support using our breakfast blend.